What's up, everybody? This is Nick.
This is Eric. That's my part. Sorry, I got lost in our ramblings before we started.
What went ramblings before we started? Eric, we are professionals. We get right to it. And you know what? Today, there's going to be no mincing words. There's going to be none of the hullabaloo that we often, and the hoodoo that we bring.
The hinky.
The hinky and the stinky. One in the hink and one...
Oh, whoa. Anyway, family. Our tag has the word clean in it.
Family-oriented all the way. I was going to say one in the hink and one in the link. It's an internet reference.
Zelda, maybe?
Sir, where is your mind today?
I don't know then.
Is your mind in the gutter?
I'm apparently not.
Are you
I'm not online enough.
In the gutter? I promised the people today that there wasn't going to be any of this hoodoo and hullabaloo, but what's the first thing you do? You take us into the gutter.
I'm not in the gutter.
Which is definite hoodoo.
Well, if we know anything about hoodoos.
And speaking of gutters, let me start off with this first story, Eric.
Oh, are you bringing the story first? I didn't know that. Okay.
We are.
You are.
We are bringing the story to the people. We are presenting them with a story. You showed me this article earlier, and I thought of a great transition for this. Unless you had one. I'm sorry. I don't want to step on your toes. Eric, transit us to this article.
Is it this one that I have up?
Sure, let's go with that.
I know you didn't have anything.
No, I did.
Oh, did you? Okay.
This man got mistaken for cocaine.
For what?
Cocaine.
What kind of cocaine?
My cocaine.
I knew you'd do it.
I know. I am.
My cocaine.
Yeah, that's a little something we learned from another podcast, that if you say the words "my cocaine," It sounds like Michael Caine.
Yeah, it sounds like him saying his own name.
Yeah, the actor Michael Caine. Because I realized when I said Michael Caine, it still said like Michael
Caine. Actually, I think I saw that he did that on that British show that's real popular, that late night British show. I don't know the name, but Peep Show.
Okay.
I think he was on Peep Show and they made him say that.
My parents wouldn't let me watch that one.
Was it Peep Show? I don't remember. I have to look it up. But go ahead. We're talking about cocaine.
This man was found. I mean, his life went into the gutter because of this.
Oh, he has a great name. Say his name.
His name. Well, you say his name.
Carlos Cash. You know what he sounds like? He sounds like a drug dealer. And my name is Carlos Cash.
He also sounds probably like a televangelist.
Oh yeah. Benny Hinn.
Creflo $8.
Creflo $8. Is that his real name?
I've
heard Creflo.
That's what he goes by, is Creflo $.
Dollar, yeah, okay. Go ahead. So Carlos Cash. Great name.
I always wanted to become a televangelist and go for, I didn't need a lot of money. I just wanted to go with cents instead of dollar. I was like, I'd be cents.
But how half a dollar cents?
Nick cents.
Nick cents?
Yeah.
Okay, like Nick cents. So you sound like a boy band.
Yeah, I know. It works. It works at a lot of levels. And eventually, if I got enough money, I could spin it off into like a perfume type thing or cologne.
Oh, cents with a S then versus a C.
Yeah, then it'd be.
I get you.
See, buddy, there's a lot of.
Man, you put a lot of thought into this.
I did. I had a whole pyramid scheme.
You have like a book of it.
Yeah, I mean, buddy, there was a book.
I go to your house and it's just like stacks of just random ideas you have for Nick Cents.
No, it's just up all on the wall with string everywhere. And I'm like, this one leads to this, which comes back to this, and I get this.
Oh, what is that? What's that old South Park? It's the gnomes that steal socks. Steal socks. Something. World domination.
Ah, gotcha.
It's like
that's the pattern, huh?
This. Something, $1 million.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like, you got to figure out the something.
But I had the something.
No, yeah.
Televangelist, get real popular, which is more of an amorphic idea over here.
Yeah, that's the something, right?
That's the something. Get real popular. Then launch my own cologne and perfume line.
Okay.
Get money. Buy a plane.
Or are you gonna
For missions in Africa so that I can sell my colognes
Did you
there.
see? I put a missions thing out today.
I did not.
Oh, it's by John Christ, that comedian.
Okay.
He did a really good thing with millennial missionaries in Aruba.
Okay.
And it was good. You have to go out and see it. It's on my Facebook page.
Okay.
All right, but let's move on.
Do you want to tell the people how to get to your Facebook page?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
It's private enough. Carlos Cash here.
Carlos is that
Carlos Cash?
Carlos Cash here. Reporting to you live.
Cashier.
Reporting to you live about his problem with the police. Eric, tell us what happened with old Carlos Cash.
He just walked out of
My future, by the way.
Your
Carlos Cash.
father-in-law?
No.
Oh.
This is my future. I'm going to become. I want to be Carlos Cash. He is my hero.
Okay, he walked out of. He spent 90 days in jail because he got stopped while driving, as you do, for headlights being out, or driving without headlights, and they found some white powder in his car.
Well, obviously cocaine.
As you do.
Was it Michael Caine?
Michael Caine. In his car, they found some cocaine, what they thought was cocaine. They tested it. It came back, I'm going to do quotes, positive.
For drywall?
For cocaine. And he spent 90 days in jail before it could be tested in a lab, which said it was drywall. He spent 90 days in jail for drywall. They also said the canine unit was alerted. He was on probation for marijuana and cocaine charges in 2015. So, a couple years ago, I'm sure his probation for that. It's 6 to 8 years? I can't remember. I don't know where this happened at. Oh, this is Florida. So it's a Florida man story. And so, and on top of that, he was denied bond because it was breaking his probation. Mm-hmm. So he couldn't even bail himself out. So he had to spend 90 days in jail.
It took 3 months for lab results to get back, huh?
Yeah, 3 months. NCIS has nothing on this place.
Well, CSI, NCIS. I mean, buddy, they got the wrong guys to test it. Apparently, Oviedo, Florida.
Is that what? Yeah, Oviedo.
That's what they are. Oviedo, Florida.
Oviedo, Florida. Yeah.
This would literally suck.
It sucks. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm not one that's going to go after the police or after the lab. Our justice system is slow.
It is.
And that's generally a good thing, because a justice system that's hyper fast will make a lot more mistakes than one that's meticulous and slow. So I prefer a slower justice system. Also, it's Florida, so it's probably well booked up.
But something like this, to me, I don't think it should take 3 months for something like this to come back and say it's not cocaine.
3 months does seem long.
It could be easily remedied if somebody would just sniff it.
Yeah,
and
take a big lick of it.
Yeah,
and then they'll.
I mean, they get people to do those random testing things when they are putting out a new drug anyway. So just have somebody be like, "Hey, we'll give you $100 if you sniff this weird powder."
Yeah, I guess that's something you can do. There's a lot of, I think, human rights issues with that. But
you know what?
There's enough of humans.
Those sissies need to stop worrying about, someone's gonna get hurt.
Humans aren't endangered.
People get hurt all the time. I stubbed my toe last night walking in the dark.
Did you really?
No, I did not. That is just a story I was trying to make a point with, and you called my bluff. You feel good about yourself, Eric? Huh?
I'm a big man.
Yeah.
Now, here's
that's
the
why
thing.
I always sick you on people.
What do you think Carlos's Cash's job was? You're looking at the story now.
Oh, I'm not. Well, I won't look. Okay, knowing that he was carrying drywall at this point,
or had dust on him at least,
right? Also knowing that his name is Carlos, with the last name of Cash.
Like Johnny?
Yeah, he was transporting in his car.
Okay. Wow, you are a detective.
Okay. I'm going to go. This is off the top of my head.
Okay.
I'm going to go drug dealer.
Carlos Cash has cocaine. I can see that makes a lot of sense.
Well, buddy, it's the drywall that gives it away.
It's the drywall. Yeah. Well, he's a handyman.
He's an underground drywall salesman.
Black market drywall.
This is grade A Colombian drywall I'm trying to give you here.
I'm curious what he was pulled. Like, what did he have in his car? If he's a handyman, I'm sure he has tools.
Right.
And like,
which is very suspicious for a man to be carrying tools.
Yeah, that's...
What is a man in broad daylight got to be doing with some tools in his car?
I doubt it was in broad daylight because he didn't have his headlights on, and that's why he was pulled over. So I'm guessing it was at night or dusk.
No, little known fact, in Oviedo, Florida.
It's forever dark?
It's forever dark. It has 7 days of darkness and then 6 hours of light.
Wow. Remind me not to go visit that place.
It's called the Arctic of Florida.
It's the Arctic of Florida?
It's the Arctic of Florida. That's... Oviedo, you know what? Just leave a message and...
So it's like...
tell Eric I'm right.
It's like Pitch Black.
It is.
The movie Pitch Black, which has a...
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Vin Diesel thrives there.
With his golden eyes.
He walks around with sunglasses on and he's like, I hear things. Which actually may be what Vin Diesel does in real life. Just throwing that out there.
Could be. So that's our first story. I'm going to move on to our second real quick.
Let me.
Okay,
I want to share a little story real quick.
Okay.
When I was a pastor, there was a town I was a pastor in. A man got stopped. I was a pastor in Nevada. A man got stopped in our town.
Okay.
And the police confiscated a briefcase full of money, claiming that it was used to sell drugs.
Yeah, that's a federal law, that if you're carrying so much money around, they can assume you're doing something wrong with it. I think it's a federal law. Probably a state law, too.
But I mean, there was this big write-up in the paper. The cop appeared with the
briefcase.
The briefcase.
Like in the paper or online?
On TV. Not on TV. On the paper. The front page. It was a picture of him in the briefcase.
Okay.
Turns out the man was a professional gambler, which he tried to tell the cop, and he actually showed the cop some papers, but the cop refused to believe him. And so it became this big thing about this small town having corrupt cops, and
really?
It ended up on the news and the national news.
Did they lose the money too?
Yes.
They did?
Yes. It was a whole big deal.
Wow.
So look,
that's crazy.
Mistakes are made. That's the moral of this story.
And my church got this big tithe.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from. All I had to do was walk into the police station and be like, I work here. Where's my briefcase?
I lost the briefcase. Can you find one for me?
Please describe it. It's square. Here it is. Thank you.
It's full of cash?
Yeah. I'll even tell you, Benjamin Franklin's on a couple bills, right? Sure enough, here you go.
You described it perfectly.
Yeah, you look like a trustworthy individual. Thank you. All right, so Eric, what's our second bit of news that we are bringing to the world today?
As I talk about frequently, nature's trying to kill us.
Oh, here goes Eric's.
The world hates us.
Wait, hang on. This is the time of the podcast where Eric's random paranoia kicks off. So
listen to me.
Please.
Listen to me.
Buckle in, people. Buckle in.
All right, are we ready?
I'm listening.
Okay, we've had storms taking beaches and bringing them back just to tease with us.
That was a sci-fi movie.
No. Well, that's what you want it to be.
I want that to be it needs to... Why isn't sci-fi making this movie?
I mean, what else? We've had robots coming after us, not nature. We've had
Noah fighting dinosaurs?
We had Noah fighting dinosaurs. Yes, that was last week's podcast. But no, we've had nature's trying to murder humanity.
You had the one where the deer pretty much form
We had
tackled.
two in one episode where deers were attacking humans.
Now, don't forget, we did have the instance here in Oklahoma where the kid took it back to nature. He crawled into the
zebra.
You know what? He got in trouble for that, and I just want to point out something.
Yeah.
I think he's a hero.
I think he's a hero. Trying to kick it back to nature.
We need to stop vilifying these teenage kids and realize they know what's coming.
Yeah,
they're like dumb,
you hear me?
They're like dumb woodland creatures.
They sense it.
Their instincts are telling them something is wrong.
Fight nature.
Listen, people, you need to understand. Teenagers are dumb. Anyway, Eric, tell us the story.
So,
buckle in for paranoia. Here we go.
In New Hampshire, so it's getting closer to home. Some of these stories were like overseas and stuff. This one's right here on our good American soil.
Where in New Hampshire did this happen, Eric?
This happened.
What town?
Come on, give me a chance. Sinapi. I'd say that right because I've been there many times as a tourist. That's how you say that word.
No, I think you're completely mispronouncing that. It's Sinapi.
Sinapi. Oh, New Hampshire. Okay, it's okay.
A guy.
Whatever.
It was founded because a guy was. They were on the Long Trail.
What's that? The Long Trail?
Yeah, they were cross country and the old
long trailing.
We're talking in the covered wagon days, Eric, when they were and he stopped and he's like, soon I have to pee. And so he peed in this spot, and he's like, I'm going to live here now. I own this place.
A dog. I got peed. It's mine.
It's my land. Soon I pee.
Soon I pee.
Anyway.
So this 80-year-old, probably wonderful old lady, minding her own business as elderly people do, just gardening, enjoying the day, enjoying the time she has left.
My grandma.
It could be your grandma.
We're not from New Hampshire, though.
Well, it's your fault. That's your fault.
I know who my grandparents are.
Sweet Elsie Dabrowski, good Polish name. Sounds Polish to me. She was just gardening on a Sunday at her home when she was attacked. And you're going to go, oh, poor old lady. What was she attacked by? A rabid bobcat. Rabid bobcat. And she has dogs. What do you think her dogs did at first?
They watched.
Nothing.
You know what? Here's what I imagine.
They did nothing. Their owner, their master was being attacked, and their dog. She said, through her mind came, where are my dogs? Do you think that bobcat was colluding with their dogs? The answer to that is yes. Nature's trying to kill us. Luckily, the dogs eventually show up and run it off, and her wonderful son gets a shotgun and kills it. They do an autopsy. They find out it does have rabies. It had scratched her on her arms, back, shoulders, and bitten her. So now she has to go and get the series of rabies shots. It's starting. It's starting. So what is your opinion on this? What is your opinion on this, Nick?
Seriously.
I'm asking your opinion.
I want to go back to the cocaine story. No, I think what happened is this bobcat got some of this guy's drywall in its system. We can't really...
So Carlos Cash and the bobcat were in cahoots.
We cannot really blame the bobcat.
Okay.
Here's what happened.
All right.
The bobcat was originally from Oviedo, Florida.
Are there bobcats in Florida? I'm looking it up.
No, don't look this up.
Okay.
Don't look it up. Trust me, there are bobcats in Florida. I have been there. I saw them with my own two. It was at Disney
Bobcat?
The little park, the zoo thing. They were there.
There's a Disney zoo?
Yeah, there's a zoo. There's an animal planet. I don't know.
Animal Planet? Does Disney have Animal Planet? Discovery owns that.
There's Animal Niners.
Animal Niners.
So,
is there a Niner in there?
So, here's what happened. Power, it was sniffing around old man Cash's drywall, and he got he got a little bit of the cocaine in his system. Fueled by this cocaine, he ran with super speed to Sunai
There's no I in it.
New Hampshire. Sunai, New Hampshire.
I love how
he attacked this woman.
I like how you're like to further your jokes. You're changing the spelling.
I will punch you in the throat, sir.
It's like it's spelled with an I now.
Sunai. Yes, Sunai.
Old English.
Yes, I will pronounce it correctly. But this is how it happened. Actually, no. This was just an animal with rabies that attacked a poor woman.
Okay, that's super interesting.
Sci-fi
got a story for you.
This is the same story as Old Yeller.
How did Old Yeller? I've seen Old Yeller. How did he get rabies before he had to be put down?
Spoiler alert.
Did he get rabies?
He got rabies.
Yeah, he got rabies. That's why they had to put him down.
Yes. He got in a fight with a bobcat.
Was it a bobcat?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They're going to have to put this old woman down. She's going to start snapping at her son.
Side story here. There's only been one person, as my memory recalls, that has survived having rabies.
Without treatment?
Without treatment.
Really?
They had to put her into because she got bit by a bat, like out in the woods, but didn't really realize it. Got rabies, and so it started showing signs of rabies. And I'm glad you put that right by the mic. That's super.
I apologize. USAA just sent me something.
And so, no one's ever survived having rabies without treatment. And it was too late to start treatment because it had already, it's a virus and it already started, I guess, virusing or whatever it does. As a doctor, and as I know very much about rabies, as I do.
Right.
I don't want to burden you with the technical details of it.
Yeah, please don't.
So as she rabied, as we say, it caused a swelling of the brain, if I remember, and like fear of water. So a lot of them died of dehydration. Mm-hmm. And so they just put her into a coma, and she had to be in a coma for like 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
Girl survives. I spelled survived right, wrong. I probably spelled.
How long ago was this?
2008.
Okay.
Only one person has survived rabies without treatment, and this girl did it. She's young. She was it was 2008, about 10 years ago. Yeah, I'll look at this up.
She's from California.
Oh, girl.
Man.
Oh, California girl, third in U.S. to survive rabies without treatment. So I guess they've come up with a kind of like, you get bitten by rabiesness. They have a plan now. By 2011, this girl survived.
8-year-old survivor.
8-year-old. So she's 16 now. That's awesome. Cute little 8-year-old girl.
She survived. This Bobcat gets around.
Oh, they did a documentary on that girl. The first girl I'm assuming this is the first girl who survived rabies. There's a documentary of, I guess, the whole thing. She was about 15 in 2014.
She got married last year, or 2014.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stories on her.
She's very popular.
This must be a different girl. I'm looking this up. We're on rabies now, guys. Oh, yeah, she's much older now.
Well, you know what? Age is time and age and things that happen.
They're illusions.
It is a social construct. You are correct.
So rabies is not deadly. This is kind of a little rabbit trail here, but which rabbits also have rabies. That's why the hunting season.
We never go on rabbit trails, Eric.
Never.
We are very focused people.
Well, it is related to rabies, so therefore it is perfectly what we're talking about, and inside my expertise as a rabies doctor.
You listen here, rabies. Eric is not scared. He invites you to give him rabies. If there's any animals that want, you know what? If you have an animal, if you're listening to this and you have an animal with rabies,
okay,
send it to this address. Get a pen and paper. I'm going to tell you Eric's address. We're going to get Eric live on our podcast. We're going to have an animal bite Eric, and I will put him into a coma immediately.
I live at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. We talk a lot about us living in Oklahoma. I really live in Washington, D.C. So I live at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Are you seriously trying to get a terrorist attack on the
what?
On the White House?
Whoa! No.
Sir,
What?
Why are you trying to get people to send stuff to the White House?
If someone's going to send rabies to somebody,
It needs to be.
it needs to
you.
go through White House has like a lot of security and can handle that stuff. I don't have that. I don't have. Okay, send it to 1600. Hold on. No.
You know what? Send it to 1600 South 143rd Street in
606
Oviedo,
Parrington
Florida.
Oval. Send it to 1660 Parrington Oval, Norman, Oklahoma.
Okay. Yeah, no, wait. Type in Stillwater.
Type in.
OSU address.
Send it to. See, theirs don't even pop up. That's how pathetic they are.
You know what? Just keep your rabid animals to yourself. This is way too much work.
Yeah, this is.
I was going to make a real exciting podcast for next time. You getting bit live on our podcast would have gotten a lot of viewers, and then me putting you into a coma.
See, doesn't this go back to what we learned in our fusion with Garfield of making money off other people's illnesses and paranoia?
Yeah, but
It's right.
It's your illness and paranoia.
And you're wanting to make money off of it.
No, you would make money too.
I want to make money off it. Money that I would not understand what to do with in my crazed state.
Well, no, you'd be in a coma.
No, thank you.
During that time, I would put you up on Twitch, and people would watch and donate to help pay for your coma.
Oh, while I Twitch.
Yes, and I would sit there and fan myself with $100 bills.
All right.
Not wanting to make money off my best friend's suffering, because I care.
I appreciate that.
You know what? Speaking of caring, I have a little story I want to tell.
What's your story you have? Because I'm tired of our stories.
I read
my stories.
No, your stories were good. You brought a
Whatever.
lot.
What's your story?
You brought a lot.
What's
to
your
the table.
story?
You brought a lot to the table. But no, this is more of a thinking piece.
I'm thinking about it. Okay.
Eric, you like video games.
I've been known to play a few.
What do you think? There tends to be a trend now in video games.
Okay.
That after a video game releases, due to the outcry of fans or gamers or that sort of thing, the creators of the game, they patch the game and they make the game easier.
Okay.
They nerf it, if you will. They, for example, in this article I was reading, they mentioned games like Tumbleweeds.
Never played it.
Never played that one.
Never heard of it.
There's another game that was an indie game called Hyper Light Drifter.
That sounds familiar.
It says it went through various changes to make it easier. Then there was Outlast 2. They patched it and made it, which is kind of a more recent game, but they made it easier.
Okay.
So, I mean, what do you think about them dumbing down the difficulty for different reasons?
We talked about this just a smidge before we started, and the game I've been playing recently, and I'm about tired of it because I can't beat it, is FTL.
Fun game.
I play on easy, and I can't beat this game. I can get to the boss. I can beat the boss up a lot, but I can never win. You told me you beat it today or yesterday, or when did you beat it?
I beat it a couple days ago, but I failed to mention, I got extremely lucky.
What'd you get?
My last fight, because on that last level, there's repair places.
Yeah.
My last fight was next to a repair place.
Oh, they're always like super far away from the base for me. So, okay, so you had a bit of a bump in.
Yeah,
be able to
I did.
Repair in the middle of the fight.
Yes.
But you only get 3 jumps before you're at the base. And
right.
They're at the base for 3 jumps and then it's over. I digress. I've yet to beat that game. But games getting easier. You know what? I think on easy, if you play a game on easy, you're playing the game to know the story, kind of understand the controls. Do these games that you mentioned not have a difficulty scale like built into the options?
I don't know that some of these games had that at the time. I think they just had one story, one thing. Now, games like, if you remember correctly, games like Halo. Halo used to reward you for playing...
Oh, the skulls.
Yeah, the skulls.
Finding skull. You had to find them.
Yeah, you had to find them, but it would also give you more of an ending.
Oh, really?
Remember the first... It would expand on the cutscenes between each...
when you had skulls on?
Yeah, no, when you had the difficulty up. Like, if you played on Legendary...
Heroic and Legendary.
Yeah, if you played on Legendary or Heroic, it would expand the...
It did?
Yes.
I did not know that. I played Halo up to 4 and Reach, and I haven't played any since then. And I played all of them and beat them all on Heroic, which is the highest, right? No, it's Legendary. So it goes normal, whatever they call it, Heroic, and then Legendary. I beat it on the highest. And I never thought, because I really don't, man, I'll be honest with you, I didn't play Halo for the storyline.
Well, no, not a lot of people did. I just know that was one feature they had in there.
That's a pretty smart feature, though.
That is.
But that's using scalability to benefit the game.
Right. It gives you a reason to play at that level.
Yeah.
Some of these games, because they mentioned Outlast 2, which is a game I haven't played.
I've never played it.
It's kind of a horror game. If you remember the original Outlast, there's been a lot of people that have done videos in it. But it was one that I guess it was really hard. They called it was an uphill march through dangerous enemies, but they've patched it recently to make it easier. And I was curious because reading some of the comments, one person pointed out that...
Oh, I've seen this gameplay. Yeah, so the video camera.
Yes.
Okay.
But one person pointed out that they think it's because of a culture that we live in now, that a lot of gamers are adults, and they don't have the time to sit down and
grind.
Well, yeah, grind and play a game and try to get to a point where they can.
Well, we talked about this also in not just adult gamers, but also we'll say millennials, which I'm not a millennial actually. Thank heavens, I've missed it just by a few months. And we talked about the music and how music's getting, like, they're getting to the...
Well, yeah, they're moving quickly through stuff.
Yeah, they get to the... Instead of having big openings and...
Right.
These nice... I can't think of, like, what it's called, but the opening to music, to a song, they're shortening those to, like, just a few seconds. What was it? Like 7 seconds?
Like
before vocals kick in.
Right.
It was before vocals kick in. Was it 7 seconds? It used to be 10 or 12.
Yeah.
Now it's like 4 to 7? Yes. I can't remember.
I think it was just 4 now.
Was it just 4?
Yeah.
And I wonder if it's something similar to that where... But here's another thing. It's just like, get me to what I want to do here.
Right.
Now I can see it as FTL. I could play a game of FTL in 30 minutes, beginning to end. The problem with FTL, and since it's in its scalability, I don't see how anyone could ever play that game on hard at all. But there's no way to save the game. So you got a good ship and you get destroyed, or you get bad luck and you get like invaders and then like fire taking your ship over. Even though it's a good ship, you're out of luck. It's gonna explode. And without like cheating or modding the game, you have to start from the beginning. And I'm a purist. I don't like modding my games until I beat them.
Right. The other thing with this though is I can understand from a business perspective why you might do this, because it
making it easier.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
It does. I'm not saying this is right, but I can see where it might help.
Okay.
It would bring in another audience.
Okay.
Now,
less
I
hardcore.
I am with you. There needs to be a scalability. Like one of these games, they said they put in a newcomer mode.
That's smart. That's beginner mode.
Yeah, Hyper Light Drifter added what they called a newcomer mode, which I guess before it just kind of dropped you into the game.
Okay.
This newcomer mode was something that they added to, I don't know, I guess bring people that don't consider themselves hardcore gamers.
I can see this trend going forward, though, where people will release a game at the hardest difficulty for a couple reasons. One is the people who buy it right away, they want that difficulty. They're usually hardcore gamers, people who have waited for, maybe it's like Outlast 2 is like a second
Right.
generation of a game, or third or fourth. It has weight behind it. But also, if they beat it super fast, they're not going to talk about it. They're not going to stream it as much. They're not going to talk about it.
Right.
They're not going to tweet about it. All the stuff they do online. It's like, oh man, I'm stuck on. Think what's the hardest game? The hardest game that I hear about right now. I got one right in my head. I hear about people playing this game and they talk about how hard it is. There's memes about how hard it is. What do you think it is?
FTL.
No.
I don't know.
Dark Souls 3.
Okay.
Is that the newest one, Dark Souls 3?
Yes.
I don't play that game. All I hear is it is hard.
Right. There was a franchise that was known for its difficulty back in the day, back when,
Castlevania.
No. But a Ninja Gaiden. The Ninja Gaiden games that were on the PlayStation that were kind of the upgraded graphics were known for being difficult. I remember that being a selling point for parts 2 and 3.
Okay.
That the difficulty was up there. And I think back to games that we played, because I remember replaying DuckTales. And even in that Capcom thing that we did a few weeks back.
Oh yeah.
That article, the guy made in that article, the guy makes mention that these are the original games and they are difficult. There was a level of difficulty that we played as kids that we just had to get used to and beat the game.
Okay.
Because I've gone back and played things like Super Mario 3 and games like that, and it's hard to get back into that learning curve and that sort of thing. But just recently I played with Ryan, who was on
new podcast as an update. We have a new what's it called? You guys call it
Nostalgia Talk.
Nostalgia Talk. It's with another gentleman who's not me. His name is Ryan. I know he's probably inferior to me in
many ways. Yes.
No. But he's a great guy. Great to listen to and listen and hear his opinion. I've always enjoyed talking to Ryan. So you and Ryan got a little nostalgia cast where they go over kind of like lists of things. It's kind of the concept. You hit top 5 movies. Each you did top 5 movies of the 80s from 80 to 89, excluding holiday movies.
Holiday movies, yes.
But you did allow Die Hard.
Die Hard was not a holiday movie.
Because you don't consider it's during Christmas. There's Christmas trees in it.
Yes,
but you consider Gremlins a holiday movie.
You needed the holidays for that one because the whole concept is him giving the present. Anywho,
all right, we dug it. But there's a new podcast. You're welcome to go to our channel and let's take a listen to.
Yeah, but we played Punch Out, Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Whoa, Mike Tyson's. Ooh,
well, not Mike Tyson's Punch Out because now it's
just Punch Out.
Yeah, just Punch Out now with Mr. Dream or Dr. Dream or
whatever it is. It has a face tattoo. It's weird.
Anyway, so I played through a lot of the game. Because it's the old game. It's the old Mike Tyson's Punch Out, but just after
lost license.
The license ran out, they made it that. So it's the same exact game, but it took me a while to get the timing back down somewhat. Used to be I could get the timing down and dodge the uppercuts and...
we're fighting Mike Tyson? Where he goes... Whoosh.
No, I didn't make it to Mike Tyson, but I made it... I don't remember who I made it to, but people that I would never used to get hit by, I got hit by.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it took me a while to remember the timings and try to get back into that. So, yeah, the games that we played as kids, there was a level of difficulty to them that we just had to overcome.
I agree.
Nowadays, it seems like you're right. It seems like they nerf it in a way.
But I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with releasing a game at a harder difficulty and then later on adding in scalability. That's fine with me because I typically don't buy a lot. If I buy a game at release, I'm hardcore into that game. I was a hardcore Halo gamer. I played Halo and multiplayer Halo. I played Halo constantly. I probably have 1,000 hours on Halo, on the Halo franchise. And that doesn't bother me because eventually even the hardest got easy. I was playing a heroic like it was nothing. Or legendary like it was nothing. And so
I remember that actually.
And so I don't mind releasing a game. I do think, one of the first major releases should probably put in scalability. Also, it maybe speeds it up to launch. You don't have to worry about the scalability yet. You can put that in the first major or second major patch, which gives you a couple extra months. You don't have to dedicate. You get time. You get a little time in project management, so you can maybe focus on some other features.
Well, in early games like Wolfenstein,
it made me sick playing Wolfenstein.
And Doom.
Doom was awesome.
But you remember even like Doom 1 even had a scalability where it was like, yeah, because you would go up and he'd have like the pacifier in his mouth.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It would go all the way down to where he had horns.
Yes,
you remember? So there was a scalability to.
I just played on normal.
To those, yeah, I played normal too. Normal with the pacifier.
Like a baby would play.
Yes,
a normal baby though.
Because I didn't want all that hard stuff. But we don't want to drag this out. But I'm with you. It doesn't really bother me too much. However, I can understand where it bothers some of those hardcore gamer purists that are like, I want games to be tough. I want it to challenge me. I want it to be something I have to work for, because there is, like you said,
there's a pride to it.
If there is a Twitch streamer and he considers himself, I mean, you could get a lot of time out of a certain game if there is a certain difficulty to it. And then when you beat it, there's a certain amount of pride that goes into that. But
are you thinking they're like it takes away from the game when they put the scalability in there?
I guess some people see it,
and they're like,
way, yes.
"Well, I beat it before that was in there." Well, they should put an achievement in there for it then. Well, I mean, Steam has achievements, of course. PlayStation has their achievements. Then there's Sony's trophies, trophy hunters and stuff that do. I'm sure there's people who hunt trophies. Most games you can put in a achievement in there saying, hey, look, I beat the game on its hardest difficulty, and here's the date I beat it, so you can tell it was at this patch. If someone's like super, I gotta be, you know what? I probably don't watch those people, but to each their own.
Yeah, I mean, there are those people out there that like the 1,000% or 100% games, which is fine.
Don't crap on people because they don't play games as much as you, though. I mean, that's kind of
right.
I mean, that's not cool.
I don't think... I mean, there are some people that just want to play a game for the experience. Just...
This guy.
Yeah, just to enjoy it.
I play games.
Some people like...
enjoy.
Some people have even invested themselves in a story. Mm-hmm. And they want to get through it, and they want to see what happens, and yada, yada, yada.
Uncharted.
Yes.
I got a PlayStation 3. I got Uncharted with it. Uncharted 2, I think, maybe. I can't remember. And... I put that on easy just to play it for the story because it was so good. I said, man, let's get through all these stupid enemies so I can get to the next cutscene. Or I'm like, okay, I don't want to have to focus on these enemies. One, I want to look around at the scenery. I want to kind of figure out what the story being told in the gameplay is versus the cutscene. Right. And so I'm like, I want to fight this guy. I got to blow this guy up, whatever. What is going on? Oh, I'm saving this thing. Oh, this is so awesome.
Well, and that's the thing. People need to enjoy the game that they want to enjoy. If you want to enjoy a story, enjoy a story. If you want to enjoy a difficulty challenge. Or gameplay or a challenge, that's right. Get the scalability up there to where somebody can play on hard and really challenge themselves.
And if you really want to be like, oh, hey, there's extra cutscenes, that's just a bonus. I mean, make them cool and maybe they show something interesting, but it doesn't detract from the overall story.
Right.
That's not nothing wrong with that, in my opinion.
No.
It's like, not only did you do it, you did it on the hardest, you get a little bit extra. You know what, nowadays, if I want to know what a video game storyline's about, I just go watch a video on YouTube of the story.
Right.
I'm like, oh, here's it all cut together. I can just watch it.
Well, yeah. Let people enjoy what they want to enjoy. Yeah. I think that's... part of what this is. I know some people want the video game purists want it to stay that way. I want it to be hard. Mm-hmm. I get that. You're alone in your mom's basement.
Oh, don't stereotype.
I'm not going to stereotype.
Come on, Papa Nick.
I'm not going to stereotype, but seriously, get out of your mom's basement.
I thought about that on the Bobcat attack. Her son came out, her adult son came out and shot it.
Well, I mean, she's 80 years old.
80 years. I was like, is he living with her? Or is he visiting? I thought about that.
Know.
But let's get back to the story.
But big question was, where were the dogs? They came eventually.
They came eventually.
They couldn't be bothered.
Bit much. They didn't like her that much.
But, if you're that guy, if you're the person that really wants the difficulty, take the difficulty.
Yeah.
Those video game purists that are like, it should be the same for everybody. No. Everybody doesn't read the same books.
It's true.
Or
don't read books at all.
They just look at the pictures.
Hey, man. No judgment. No judgment.
But, no, we don't judge
Come
here.
on. Pictures are nice.
Where's
Waldo's hard?
Yeah, it is. It has a level of difficulty to it. The Where's Waldo purists do not like the new patch that was put out for the books.
It's just him circled.
It's just a pair of glasses that like...
Oh, like everything goes out and you just see him.
You just see him and he's like waving. They're still like, I can't see him. But they want that purity to remain, and they want it to be the same experience for everyone. Well, not everybody wants the same experience. Not everybody is going to experience the same thing. Two different people could read the same book and get different interpretations or different thing out of it.
Yeah.
So honestly, I'm not bothered by this. I know, reading some of the people's outrage in the comments, it's kind of ridiculous. I understand that people have a different lifestyle. I mean, you put thousands of hours into Halo, like you said, but after you had kids, that changed.
Yeah.
And a lot of people still want to play games, but they want to get through the story. Or somebody like me who has not played on Legendary, but has played Halo for a long time and kind of wants to continue the story or find out what happens next. I mean, that sort of thing... Let me blow through there and figure out what's going on. But, I also understand sometimes I like a challenge on certain games. So, I don't know. It doesn't really bother me. I mean, I don't know what you have to... I mean, we heard your thoughts. I don't know what your final thoughts on it are.
I'm going to go with FTL. I'm mad at the game because I can't beat it. On easy, I can't beat it, and that makes me angry. Now, the game is so hard... On easy, I've played through it, I don't know, 25, 30, 50 times. I don't have a clue. And I haven't beat it. And that bothers me. I've thought about
mortgaging your house.
Tweeting at the makers and being like, some explicitives, we'll say, because I've been just hot at the end of that game. I'm like, why am I playing this? I'm tempted to uninstall it. And the thing is, keeping it too hard for too long does one thing. Well, people like me is like, I just want to beat this game. I beat it. I finally beat it.
Right.
Even if it's on easy, I finally beat it. Awesome. Yes. I'm not going to get that. I know I'm not going to get that from FTL. Let's say something. You played it on your tablet. I'm playing it on Steam. So I'm assuming the versioning is the same, so the difficulty is scaled the same because you beat yours. And you said you got lucky with a repair station.
That kind of thing, that's the other thing, is some games, because FTL is one that it's not a set path.
No, it's not.
The game always changes. You're not always going to find
that's great.
You're not always going to find the same deal. A lot of that, like, my gameplay came down to luck, and that's really
on easy, it came down to luck. And that's too hard. The thing is, once I uninstall FTL, I'm not talking about it again. That's one thing, though. I'm the one who recommended FTL to you, and you're like, you were traveling on vacation, as you do commonly, and you got it, and you're like, man, this game is awesome. So there's a good thing too, is like I hadn't beat it yet, so I was still playing through it. I played through it. I'm still playing through it. So I'm split. I'm like, I'm not enjoying FTL as much as I once did because I can't beat it. Would I play it if I beat it? Probably, because I enjoy the different paths, finding the new aliens, getting unlocking the ships, playing with the advanced weapons.
Yeah.
And I love that. And I enjoy that. But would I still be playing it if I could beat it normally? If I could beat it on easy, I would go to normal. Definitely. Because I like a challenge. But let's say I'm having a bad day and I just need to win a game, I would go back to easy. There used to be a game, what was this? For Sega CD. It was for Sega CD. I played 2 games on Sega CD. One was Sewer Sharks.
Okay. Great show.
There was a show called Sewer Sharks?
Wasn't that what that show was called?
Was it Sewer Sharks?
I'll look it up while you say the other games.
I can't remember. It's not sewer. You're traveling in the sewer shooting stuff. It's a really weird game. The other was like a double dragon game, but I cannot remember the name of it. Dadgummit, I'm gonna look it up. I'm sorry, I gotta look this up.
Was it Double Dragon meets Battletoads?
No,
because I played that one
on Sega CD.
No, I don't remember what it was on.
Nitro. Oh, here's Sewer Sharks right here. Sewer Shark. We'll put it on the screen so you can see the awesomeness of the 1992 game Sewer Shark. And the other game is, man, I wish I could think of it. Is it Rise of the Dragon? I see that game. I need to see some of the gameplay because I don't remember what that looked like. No, that's not the game.
No, that's not it.
But you played and you had to rescue, like, it was basically a Mario type. You're trying to rescue, like, your girlfriend from a boss. I
apologize. My recollection of the show was not Sewer Sharks. It was exactly the exact opposite, called Street Sharks.
Street Sharks.
Street Sharks are a completely different thing. We'll come back to it. I watched a little bit of this show. It was not great.
But there was a game, and it was you played as one of 3 characters, and you go through and you fight level and the boss level, and then eventually after I think 8 levels you get to the boss and you can fight him. Gotcha. You know how many times I beat that game?
How many?
Probably 100. I would get home from school and I would speedrun it. I didn't know it was what it was called back in the day because there was no internet, there was no one recording it. I would speedrun the game. I would say what time I start playing, and get through the level and check the time again. I'm like, okay, it took me excellent. My dad was a speedrunner. You know, he speedran Legends of Zelda and another very similar RPG game about a dragon. I can't remember it. I thought you find a dragon at the end. He would speedrun that game because he knew he could do that game, and he would do that. I'm like, I just realized that my dad and I speedran games back in the 80s and early 90s.
You started the trend.
Man, I mean, you're welcome, internet.
But, I mean, there is something to be said about that feeling of being able to do that quickly.
Yes.
But we have ran out of time here.
Yeah, we are running long.
We are. We ended up on a deep discussion. I didn't realize this would cause such a big problem.
I was going to bring one last thing up, and I'm just going to bring it up because I was supposed to go to bed the other night, and I got caught. Rarely does a YouTube video catch me where I can't stop watching it. And this one was over, I showed you a little bit of it, My Little Homestead. I get stuck. I love watching people build unique homes out of like either salvage material or just like weird methods. And they build earthbag home. I sat for 2 hours and watched this show. And so I just want to give it props because it drug me in with the idea, and then all the characters are entertaining. And if you got two hours and a minute and a half to waste, watch this family build a 2-story earthbag home for $7,000.
Does Pippi show up?
No, what do you mean Pippi? Pippi Longstocking?
Poppy, sorry. Does Poppy show up?
I haven't been checking Poppy out recently. Like, she has released there was like all last week, it was like a video every day. I haven't been watching. I haven't seen in the thumbnails. I haven't seen her hopping on one foot and
blinking a lot.
Was that what the
blinking thing already happened? That was a complete misunderstanding. That was weird.
That's where you got arrested, and when we talked about it,
deported.
Our YouTube video got taken down because we talked about kidnapping. I think I got it remonetized, but it was interesting. And no, she's not in it.
God bless you, YouTube.
So I just want to give a shout out to My Little Homestead on YouTube. Super entertaining. Go watch them build a house for 2 hours. It's really good.
And as always, it has been a pleasure. We do want to mention something else. Last week's video, Eric, we're bringing back an old favorite. A segment we haven't done in a while.
Oh!
Mainly because...
I'm so excited.
Eric, why did we stop doing this segment? Go ahead and...
Lack of content for it? Lack of ability to find appropriate material to present?
All of those answers are correct.
Was there another one that I'm missing?
No, you hit them all on the head. But guess what we got this last week, Eric?
Oh, tell me.
Oh, man, hang on. Eric, are you sitting down for this? We got a comment.
What?
We have a viewer of the week. I don't know how you stumbled across our channel. And I'm not even saying that this isn't even a spam comment. This isn't one of those great job or
great vid,
excellent content or any of those.
I've never seen that comment, but
okay. I left it. It's not one of those.
What was the comment, Nick? What was the comment?
This comment comes from one of my good friends. Well, now one of our new good friends.
Yep.
Shondell Rivers.
Nice name.
Shout out to Shondell. What's up, man?
Nice name.
He says, I think the Atari box could be a new next-gen game console, in my opinion.
You know what? I don't want to argue with that because I want to keep him as a good friend this week.
Well, I think he's right.
I have a hard time with that just because I don't know who's going to develop for it.
Well, I get that. However, if you remember correctly, we did look up an article, and the article said that they were coming out under a different name. They were coming out with another like retro game box.
The Mini? You're talking about the Mini Atari?
Yes.
But yeah, I mean the SNES got a Mini, and I think Atari's getting a Mini.
Right.
But that's different than the Atari box, right?
No, it's being put out by the same company.
Well, they own the rights to Atari, so that they have to approve it. But is the Atari box the same as the Mini that we looked at? Is that the same thing?
No.
Then I don't have a clue what's going on.
Well, nobody knows what it really is. I think it may be a next gen, but I don't know what that's going to look like.
I don't have a clue either. I can't imagine. Next gen to me right now sounds like VR.
Yeah.
Or whatever HoloLens is considered augmented.
Yes.
Augmented, which I prefer.
I guarantee you what's going to happen is it'll be goggles where you're in an 8-bit world shooting a centipede. Or
I'd play that.
I'd play it. Yeah, heck yes I would. Or you're standing on boxes jumping on them. But Shondell Rivers, my good friend Shondell Rivers, you're our listener of the week.
And our commenter of the week.
And our commenter of the week. You took the title, sir. Congratulations.
You know what? You are a listener and comment not only of the week until we get another comment or a verified listener.
But we also, Eric, just today, this is Wednesday, just today, we just got a new subscriber.
So we have a subscriber of the week, too.
ECW Fan 326.
That sounds real.
Welcome. It is. It has to be. Please be real. Welcome.
Thank you, ECW 2576239.
You are somebody now. But
so are you, Nick.
This is hey.
It's happening, Nick. It's happening.
I welcome you to our own little corner of the world, and thank you for pulling up a chair.
Oh, nice.
And sitting down and listening to us. But you know what? Go out and tell a friend.
Yes, tell a friend.
So, Eric, we talked about a lot of things today.
Well,
as we wrap up,
we talked about Michael Caine.
We did talk about Michael Caine
from what was his name? Carlos Cash.
Our
drywall cocaine man.
We talked about an 80-year-old woman that got attacked by a bobcat.
We sure did. Nature hates us.
We had a long discussion about video games getting easier.
Yeah, we had a long discussion about that. Probably too long.
Probably too long. And then we ended it with a little segment that we like to call Eric Watches. And
I'm like, yeah! I'm going to make a graphic for it.
we will.
Eric Watches. I just wanted to throw it out there. It was entertaining, and I thought it deserved just a shout. So, Eric Watches. That's a new segment.
But you know what? If you have an opinion or even want to share a story that's similar to, experience experienced by these people, if you've been attacked by a bobcat or know someone that has, please, first of all, call animal control.
Get tested for rabies.
Yes. If you're listening to this while being attacked by a bobcat, I hope you live.
Yeah, good luck. Well, you know what the test for rabies is?
What's that?
You just get shots for rabies.
You see if you got a foaming at the mouth thing going on?
Yeah. Oh, also, if you have a video you want to put out there for Eric Watches.
Eric Watch, yeah. If you want
the new segment,
if you want Eric to watch something,
or if you comment, it's got to be good.
If you have a suggestion for something that Eric watches,
yeah, that's what I meant. I just don't speak as well as you.
You can send that in.
Yeah,
but I'm interested in knowing what people's opinion is on the dumbing down of gaming. Do they think that's a real issue? So, Eric, any final thoughts?
Oh man, just come join us. Pull up a chair.
Yeah,
have a conversation.
If you wanna leave a comment, please like and subscribe. Tell us how we're doing. As always,
you can find us on Podbean.
You can
that's our primary
iTunes. We're of course here on YouTube. We are. If you want to Twitterate us, we're out there. We're going to be on some other things eventually. On Wednesdays, we're putting out Ryan and I and Eric will be guest hosting or hosting. I don't know what to call it.
The Wednesday show?
The Wednesday show.
Saturdays when we release this. Mondays when we release the Vuction.
Yes. And then Wednesday we release the Nostalgia Talk.
Man, we got lineup.
We do.
Man,
and coming soon, there is going to be a podcast about... We're just going to end it right there.
Are we going to talk about the No Nick Cast?
The No Nick Cast.
Yeah, there's a podcast that I'm coming up with called the No Nick Cast. It's the podcast without Nick. He seems to be in everything.
Where I don't have to do anything.
I'm not bitter.
So, all right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We hope you enjoyed it because we did. And tune in next week.
Please do. All right. Bye.
Bye.